Hello, hello, hello. How is it going? My name's Dolby. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And as the title suggests, I'm doing a review of Rippers Resurrected, or Rippers. Rippers Resurrected is for the old edition of Savage Worlds, but it works just fine for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, so yeah. So in this video, I'm going to be going over kind of like 4 parts. First, what is Rippers Resurrected and Rippers? Secondly, what does it offer for players? Thirdly, what does it offer for GMs? And fourthly, my final thoughts. First, Rippers Resurrected is a Victorian era setting where the players play as monster hunters essentially. There's a lot of globe trotting and a lot of kind of hunting of different creatures and the like. I think it's really cool, it's quite fun, and it's on the horror side of things, so if you enjoy your horror, you'll probably like this. So first, what does it offer for players? To start with, it offers some really cool, unique systems, or like subsystems if you will, to fit the Victorian era theme. There's 3 major ones. Wealth, which is essentially the different classes of Victorian era, where you have like your nobles and your little weaklings and the little slaves, or people who are poor and that kind of thing. And like 5 tiers of it, pretty fun. I like it. Breaks it down, and it has some interesting stuff there. Secondly, favors. These are earned often from nobles, and these favors can be redeemed for money or guards or a lot of other cool things which help fill the world, which I really like. And thirdly, and most importantly, Ripper Tech. I didn't mention this at the very start. So the reason why it's called Rippers is because the monster hunters to defeat these abominations and monsters and the like have to rip out different parts of the monsters and fuse it into themselves. This is a costly thing though, because it makes them go mad and insane, so it's this balancing act of trying to be strong without making yourself go insane. Fun, right? So, third system is Ripper Tech and how to install it, how all that stuff works. Real fun stuff. And then also it has a nice small gazetteer for players of the different bits of the world and continents and the like. And yeah. So, what does it have for GMs? This is the important part. For GMs, it offers a awesome adventure generator. I thought this was really nice, and it was really nice to be able to go through and create fun adventures. I think it's a little bit lacking in one section for just like hunting missions, but also there's only so much you can have for that, so I understand that. There's also a lot of amazing flavor in the setting where just like reading through it, and even in this player's guide, there's just a lot of fun flavor, and it's just amazing. There's also a long-term plot point campaign, which I've ran a little bit of, but scheduling became an issue, and it seemed pretty good. Has a lot of funness to it, has some cool twists, so it seems pretty good, though I've never run it fully, so I cannot fully comment on it. Now we start getting into the issues. It has a small bestiary. The actual bestiary with monsters, which is in my opinion the most important part, is 15 pages. Also, for those 15 pages, not every piece has art. So, I guess you could say that it saves on how many you can have more creatures in it. But for me, if you watch my after review, I really appreciate the artwork. It's really nice to have a nice piece of artwork that I can then use for tokens and like for VTTs. But that's not an option in Rippers because a lot of the things don't have art. Now, a lot of that stuff is based off of real things, so I can find, photos and drawings of things from back in the 1700s. But it's hard, they often don't look great, things like that. So it's just a bit of a pain. But mainly the bigger issue is just it's so small that you're gonna have to you're running out of stuff very fast, and you have to start making up your own things or reusing them a bunch. I really don't like. I feel like it could have been longer, but whatever. And this kind of comes into another point actually. The GM book is broken into 2 books. Why? Because money. Quite literally, there is in the GM book a section for like, the world and like the parts of the players don't learn about because, there's GM hidden secrets. And then it's expanded in another book that came out at the exact same time and was released with it. And then you could say like, oh, well, maybe you don't need that other book, but you kind of do. It has a bunch of extra Savage Tales in there, which you sort of need because the base book only has like 11 or 12, which is a decent number, but you run out pretty fast. Like you need that extra book, so it's just like more money to buy now. And if you're trying to get the actual hardcovers, it's just more books. You know, it's more things to buy. Or they could have squeezed in one also, so you're not having to flip through between two books. But haha, no, that's too nice. I just really don't like that. I don't like it when they split books unnecessarily. Deadline's Companion, which I'll be talking about later. So yeah. Otherwise, I do think it's a pretty enjoyable setting. I just think it has a really small bestiary. It also just feels in general a little bit short and a little bit lacking of like depth to it. But I still think it's really good, and if you know a lot about Victorian era and a lot of the creatures from it, I think it'll be a fantastic setting for you. I think it's really fun, and I hope this video has been enjoyable. I would give it around, I think, a 6.5 out of 10. Still good, but it's not my immediate setting to go to. And yeah. Thank you for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed, and take care.